The Bobcat is a student-run magazine that was originally led up as an idea by the English department, and it's kind of like a nice relationship where we both help each other.
The Bobcat is arts, culture, literature magazine. We created it to spread more creativity around campus and just spreading the knowledge of it.
I'm Jonathan Sherman. I've been a student here for 3.5 years, or no, 2.5 years, sorry. I am the president of the Bobcat, and I'm also an editor.
My name is Nadine Olmande-Mentor. I'm a junior at St. Thomas University, and I'm the vice president of the Bobcat.
We like to read and we like to yap. Basically, we enjoy talking about the things that we love, and then we realize that we talk about it so much, we might as well write it down and make it look good for the school.
I was actually approached by my advisor, Professor Kelly Wolf, and she told me that she wanted to create a new magazine from the former Driftwood magazine that there was on campus, which was disbanded. And I was kind of inspired from the first meeting on everybody's opinions. We all wanted something different, but something the same at the same time.
At first, it was just we were just talking about it in meetings, and then we had discussed it so much that we basically put down as many of the good ideas that we had on paper as we could, and then we got rid of everything that we didn't like, and then it kept changing throughout the seasons with who had stayed and what their interests are. It's a huge reflection of who's actually working there at the time. Without the people that are actually submitting the assignments or their specific interests, there's nothing to it. And so it's just a reflection of the students and what they love. And we help students express themselves, talk about art, culture, sports, anything that they feel is important to who they are, and then we allow them an avenue of expression.
I would give the most credit to Jonathan and Adam. Yes, I do a lot of work, but they're the main ones that really steer the ship visually, especially Adam. He helped create the physical copy and the online copy, since he was the only one to know how to create a website.
He's our resident, kind of like a publisher. He puts everything together. He does all the visual stuff. We just talk and we edit and we kind of direct the voices of who's writing what, but he's the one who actually is in charge of the way it looks, the way it's presented, and then kind of correcting us if our ideas are a little bit too much to do. What we do, we create, we express, and we share what everyone feels is right and what they feel is them.
By spreading the knowledge of literature and creativity where we can, because it was created for students by students. The Bobcat was actually, so we voted on the name because we didn't know. And one of the members, Sophia, she came up with the name the Bobcat. And I believe the way she described it, the eye signifies the campus and everything we see around campus, but it also is everything that we put into the campus, whether we verbalize it, write it, create it, draw it, etc., play it. That's the eye.
The first thing, if it's interesting, if we are bored out of our minds and then we're okay, well, it's boring to us, maybe it's not boring to other people, and so then I might show it to, say, my brother or a family member or a few family members, and if they all think it's boring, it's not going in, right? It doesn't matter how well it's written. If it's oh, well, we live in Miami, so here is an area that's 5 minutes away from you that you already know about. Here's what we're going to recommend. That makes no sense. We're going to talk about things that we think other people don't know about. We're going to talk about things that we think are interesting to people our age, and we're going to talk about things that crack us up and that we might enjoy.
It's kind of a balanced system. Even though me and Jonathan are the editors, we all ask for everybody's opinions on certain submissions or topics before we finally decide to include it in. I would say because of its diversity. For example, I'm Haitian, the president is Venezuelan, Adam, the web designer, jack of all trades, is Peruvian. We have Indian, somebody from one of the ABC islands. Everything is just diverse. So all of our diversity, even though it may seem extremely different, we all have the same interests.
We focus more on what people want to do, and people change, and people will want to talk about new things every once in a while. And so there's not really too much that we have to worry about besides quality assurance. And at that point, what we do is we look at the grammar, right? We look at the basic, like as I've said before, like the entertainment value. And then if it fits those criteria, then I have no problem putting it in, as long as I think it's entertaining.
This is actually kind of funny, but I created up this thing during our meeting saying that we all have ADHD brain. So a regular meeting for us will just be all of us like over talking each other, just shooting different ideas. But the most important thing about it is, even if you think nobody heard your idea, somebody definitely heard it. So pitching an idea, I would say, would be easy. It's just like writing it down, remembering it, thinking about how it will go, and like basically re-pitching it in a way, and getting everybody's opinion on it. I would say like the main challenge would be engagement, not necessarily from the club, but from students around campus. Yes, people have heard about us, but that doesn't mean they'll always want to submit. Most people are unsure of the club because like they just don't want to put their work out there. So I would say that's the hardest thing, but we are always open, and we always talk to anybody that asks us questions, and push them to even submit or at least come to one meeting, because you could submit and be a part of the club, or just be a part of the club and work on your assignments, or only submit.
It's a weird problem to have, but there's a lot of enthusiasm, and so sometimes we get too many submissions, right? And so we got to save them. It's kind of sad because there are a few that I really, really like, and then we just end up having to save them because either A, they don't go with the theme of that particular issue, or other people might not like them as much. And then there are some people who, and it's not wrong to get enthusiastic, but if you have too many ideas in too short a time span, I'm going to go leave. I'm going to take a nap, and we'll deal with you later.
We actually don't have creative disagreements. Even though we all have different ideas and we don't do it during that semester, it could happen the next semester or the semester after that, because we write everything down that we want to do. And I would say 80% of the stuff we said we want to do, we did it.
Normally, besides just trying to collaborate with as many different organizations as possible, so like this year, we are going to work with the Miami Book Fair, maybe get some, we're going to be visiting them, we're going to be talking to some of the authors like privately, we're going to get some private interviews. Last year we did some great interviews and discussions with some very, very famous celebrity chefs, and we've done that a few times, I think twice at this point. And we also try to visit some nicer places, not super far from here, so we can get the word out a little bit about what we do.
By doing different events and activities around campus. For example, we have a international poetry festival that we do every spring since 2024, I believe. And our professor was able to get us multiple international poets, so that's one way to get us out there.
We're better at handling the workload. We know what we're gonna have to deal with, and I'd say the biggest change is the people in it. Besides the main, and don't get me wrong, there's some main people that work in it, but it's interesting to see the people that come and go, because they all have a reflection in the magazine. And so while it can be sad, it's kind of a beautiful thing to see all these new and different voices in it. And I think that's something that every good magazine can say.
It's evolved really well. We were actually able to create our first physical edition last semester, which is a really big thing to all of us. And it just really shows our hard work and dedication and everything that we put into the magazine.
I'd like to set it up so that after we leave, they're not going to have any problems, because I think, I'm not saying that we do a lot, but I think because we organize quite a bit, it's going to be difficult for some of the newer students. And so I would want to set up a few people that know what they're doing after we leave, because it's a fun time, but also they collaborate so heavily with the English department, and we love the English department that I would like it to be set up that they have as much help as possible. was such a new thing that we had done, adding in all these specific, important stories and ideas from previous issues that it just it kind of coalesced into this one big beautiful thing.
To collaborate actually with other universities' magazines, because there are like really good magazines out there. I believe Syracuse is like one of the top ones. That's a dream for me. Whether I'm here or not and I hear about it, I will come back to STU to help them with that.
If you want to join, just submit. Really submit, and then if you think that you're good enough and that you're not accepted, then you can start your own. But at that point, all you need to do is write, learn from what you wrote. If you keep writing the same thing in different variations, people are going to get sick of it. If you keep writing new things and you're challenging yourself, I think that your writing probably has more merit than you think it has, and it's probably worth reading. And then we're going to put it in the publication.
Don't be afraid to submit, even if you think it's bad. The worst you'll get is not being published, but you still give it a shot. And just write anything down. And for somebody that wants to create their own, I said don't be afraid to do it either. Because you may think the person right next to you is not creative unless you talk to them and you see you both have the same interests and you want to make something big.